had prepared one slide for your understanding. See, just to have a look about the Snowflake architecture. We talked about this yesterday. There are three layers of Snowflake. Okay. One is your cloud layer, or we call service layer. Cloud service layers are a cloud layer. Other one is virtual warehouses, and other one is your storage. See, as you see here in the top layer, that is your service layer or a cloud layer. As of now, you can understand two or three important the features like use of the cloud layers. Okay. First one is your authentication and access control. What is the meaning of authentication and access control? Authentication is example, I wanted to access the Snowflake database or a data warehouse. It is going to authenticate. Example, you wanted to log into the HDFC site. You have to do an authentication. Is how do you an authentication here? The moment you log into your account, that is your authentication, correct? The moment you go to the Snowflake, the moment you go to
The
the Snowflake, username,
with username and
password,
it is
that is your
authentication.
authentication happens. That is also done by your Snowflake service layer. Okay. And what about the access control? Maybe as of now, since you have been learned fully, I wanted to talk about access control. What is the meaning of an access control? Anyone? So all of you clear what is the meaning of authentication? Authentication
Yes,
is
sir.
user login verification. It's just not about your login verification. It will also do an integration authentication. You remember you create an AWS integration stages. This authentication is also be done by your cloud service layer. All of you remember as you do also integration with AWS for your stages, external staging,
Yes, sir.
correct? So for
Yes.
that
Yes.
purpose also, it has been used by the service layer or a cloud layer for authentication. Wherever you want to do a handshake, what is the meaning of a handshake? You wanted to get access into the Snowflake account, your username, passwords, or ARN, whatever you have, all these verified by your Snowflake, that is authentication. What is about your access controls, anyone? Very
Yeah,
important keyword. Who can?
Sir,
who can delete
Security.
or drop?
No, that is a permission. Okay, that is also fine. Since you know some of the basic things, I'm taking the schema. Okay, schema. In the schema, you have a tables. In the tables example, you have an sales data and you have an what is that orders data. Okay, or product data you have. Okay. Authentication is the one login. Access is something you have a different schema. You have a different schema or different databases. Who can access what? Who can access what? This sales data can be accessed by whom? That is access controls. One is your, whatever you said is who can manipulate, who can read the data. So it is a metadata information. It is also be saved in your Snowflake area. So example, we have a two users, user A and user B, correct? There are two accounts, user 1 and user 2. User 1 having, or your schema having a table called, your table, it has a table called, why it is not following? Hold on. So we have two users, user 1, he has a table called the sales, and you have multiple users, users 2, users 3, users 4, so many. So who can access this table? Who can access, read this table, manipulate this data on the sales table? It is been your access control. Usually, how you manages in Snowflake? Through the roles. I'll also explain what is the use of the role, how you create a role, what is the great benefit of the roles. Okay. Directly, I can give example. I can say that, okay, on table 1 on the sales, I can have read access to the user 1. On sales, I can have write access to the user 4. Then what is the purpose of creating the roles? I will explain. But at this point, please understand two important things of the service layer is one is authentication, that is access to into the Snowflake account, and access control, who can perform what kind of an operation, who can read an objects, who can change an objects, who can list an objects, that is your access control. Two clear points, 2 points are clear. Okay. Next is metadata management. Okay, that is very important topic you are going to learn today. Metadata is what are the tables I have, what are the views I have, what are the warehouse I have, what are the schemas I have, what are the different views I have, all the information will be stored in the metadata. Whenever you query any database, any data, or you wanted to process any data, metadata will come into a picture to identify your object type, where it is get stored in your storage, it is going to be accessed. Okay, as of now, you keep only two. Security is about your security, that is your AWS security and all, we'll talk about later. But as of now, two important features of your service layer is, one is your authentication, access control. Second one, third one is your metadata. Okay, what is the metadata? We'll learn about today. Metadata is about when you create a table, it has in all the information where I created a table. Example, you take an example of where you have your Snowflake account. Yeah. Okay, but I don't want to go jump into the Snowflake account. Example, I create an sales here. I have a database. I'll create this text. All of you know this as first level of hierarchy is your database. Within the database, what will have?
Schema.
Schema. Very good. We can have a schema. We have multiple schemas. Within each schema, what we can have?
Tables, views.
Please don't call me. I don't like to call them as a tables. I wanted to call them an objects. Within objects, probably we have different type of objects: tables, views, procedure, functions, and views, etc., etc., etc. Okay. To create your objects, first you should have a schema. Behind that, you should have a database. That is this is a structure you should always remember. Always remember, database is the next level. Schema is the next level. Within that, you can create your objects. What I'm trying to say is, this information, example, I'm creating a table here called employee. This information, what are the information? It is going to be has a metadata about the employee table under schema called HR schema, under database called company. Okay, this is an information about your table. Behind that it has a multiple other information, table columns, correct? What are the table columns? It is going to have it. What is your storage? What is the amount of storage it is occupying? And it is visible to whom and all? Is it mass or is it accessible to whom and all? Because we need to control your access. Who can access it? All this information will be stored in your metadata. What is the schema mostly used for metadata collection in Snowflake? Anyone? Where this all data information, metadata information will be collected?
Information schema dot storage.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Wali. What are you doing? Information schema. That is where most of your data information, metadata has been accumulated. See, it is an information about an information, but it does not have any business information. Please understand. Information schema nevertheless never has what is the sale amount, what product are sold, what are my customers, what are my products. Never has. But it has an information or a data about your tables, about your objects, who can access these objects, where this data is saving, how many partitions are creating, is it a temporary table, transit table, or what is that permanent table? Okay, all this information will be collected in a metadata under the schema called information. That schema is also presented by your cloud service layer. Clear? I want, if at all, from yesterday's class, I'm very clear about your Snowflake architecture. There is three layers should come in your mind. One is your cloud layer or a service layer. One is your virtual warehouse, VPM, or your compute layer. Third one is your storage layer. At this point, what comes in your mind when I say cloud service layer is authentication. Please understand, as of now, authentication is who can access your Snowflake account itself, data warehouse itself. It is going to validate a user and passwords and making sure that they have, or integration with your external. Whenever you want to integrate with an external parties, including your APIs or including a Python connector, including your AWS. So I'm also teaching the Python connector. That is my favorite topic, how we can automate the jobs in Python using the Snowflake. That is I'm currently doing. That is also allowed to explain. I will do it at the end, one project. Okay. So any authentications you wanted to do, that will be also be stored in your service. Access is who can read, who can perform what kind of an operation, who can create a table, who can read a table, who can manipulate a table. Okay, this can be also be information has been access control. Next is your metadata, information about your objects you are going to create, such as I explained here. What are the tables? What are the columns? Under which database is being created? Who can read it? Is it temporary table? What is the storage? All this information will be stored in a metadata. Metadata is maintained in one of the special schema called information schema. We are also going to learn the information schema today. Okay. Any questions about this? Service layer?
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
Now,
sir.
now I'll come to a very important. This is the concept most of you doesn't know, or you have a confusion about a VPM, virtual private machines, or VPC, virtual compute. Virtual VPC is nothing but your virtual private cloud, or we can also call it virtual warehouse, VMs. Okay. So a company can have multiple warehouses. What is the purpose of these warehouses? Example, I wanted to run an OLTP system. I can have very small. See, please understand, warehouse is all about your compute. What is the meaning of a compute? Yesterday I made it clear it. It's about your storage, memory, and what else? Three are there in your compute, please.
CPU.
CPU. Only one person is answering all. The one lady is answering all my questions. Who is that? Vedavati, yeah? Or Shilpa? I think Shilpa become very serious about learning. Hey, I told yesterday there is a three parts of compute. Whenever I say compute, it's about CPU, memory, and the storage. It's all about your muscles, computing power. It doesn't have a brain. Brain has to say, oh, okay, go and lift a small rock, or go and lift a big rock, 5 kg dumbbells, 20 kg dumbbells, 30 kg dumbbells. How? Based on the strength. Okay, I wanted to lift a 50 kg dumbbell. I have to choose a person. It has a muscles, much more muscles. That what your warehouse is a muscle. Based on the see, very good example I can tell you. Example I tell you. I have only one person. I'm only, this is something I got in your mind when I was thinking about how to explain this to you. I got an example, this one. Okay, I have only one person. Okay, I have one person. 1 BHK is enough for them. 1 BHK is enough. Okay, why 1 BHK I'm
Yes, sir.
choosing is low cost. Okay, this is cost to Mobi 10,000. Imagine, even though for one person I can have a bungalow, it has a 5 bedroom. Okay, what it cost you? See, it is a luxury. I understand. One person can live in a 5 bedroom apartment home. What it costs? Cost is your storage, cost is compute is money. Money you maybe need 1 lakh. So what I should choose based on my dependence, based on my compute, based on my what I need to do, like kind of an payload, I had to choose the right warehouse. And that means I had to choose the right houses I wanted to. I can have 5 bedroom, I can have 1 bedroom, I can have a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, based on the people I wanted to accumulate. The people I want to accumulate is the kind of a volume of a data you wanted to process. So why do you wanted to process, build an 5 bedroom for 2 people? Is it wise to have such accommodation? Yes, luxury is fine, but what it will cost you? Cost you a lot. Rather than, that's the reason companies will have multiple computing machines. They're going to use it on based on the workload or a payload. I'm processing only one small file. Should I use a warehouse that has a 5 node cluster? Should I use or not?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, I should not use, because the moment you start your cluster, the moment you start, I'll show you how to stop and start your cluster and all. So it will cost you a lot, because I don't know whether you are using a 1 bedroom or a 2 bedroom in my 5 bedroom bungalow. You are going to pay for entire thing, because that is what you projected or projected to use. That's the reason one person comes, I'm going to send here. Oh, no, no, go and stay here in 1 bedroom apartment. 10 people comes. Then I say, no, this is not enough, because you get a congestion. Go and stay it in 5 bedroom. 2 people come. I'm going to say, I can go and stay it here. Based on my compute, based on my workload, I am going to choose a different warehouses Here warehouses can be of different sizes. We saw yesterday, starting from X small, X to large, 6X large. Okay, how we can have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 5 bedroom apartments, sorry, houses. We can have a virtual machines of a different sizes. That's what I'm saying. A company can have a different virtual machines. It's not like that everything will be used. No, based on the kind of a payload. Payload, you're all able to understand what is the meaning of a payload. What is the meaning of payload? Hello, what is the meaning of a payload? Sagar.
Yeah, means
Payload is your volume of data. See, guys, I'm using
Yes,
some words. You have to stop and understand. Ask me what is the meaning of a payload. Otherwise, how do you understand? Workload, payload means what kind of a data you need to process. That is example, your virtual machines could be of a 5 node machines. Virtual machines could be of a 10 node machines. Should I use processing a single 10 node machines? Yes, on the night I'm getting global sales data. Example, take an example of a real time. I can have a virtual machines or I can have an virtual warehouse. Here sizes, okay, I have different sizes. So I am getting a one small file. Which one I should use?
small
Size
size.
of 10 KB. Okay, I'm going to assign this into the why I should assign it here? See, I can also assign it to the same payload or workload into here. Why I'm using this one small one?
The cost will be more if
Cost
we
is be
choose.
more. Yes, to make it ways more cost efficient, I wanted to use example. I'm getting global sales data. It is have a 10 GB of data. Okay, having hundreds of files. Then should I use this one? Using this one will die. Rather this, I'm going to use a virtual machine. I choose a virtual machines. Still that till the night it is going to be suspended mode. It is not going to be start. That's the beauty of the cloud warehouses. I'm not going to start it. I'm going to shut down. I'm making sleeping very well. Whenever I'm going to getting the big file that needs to be processed, I'm going to resume this warehouse and sending this data into this persons to process it. Now understanding, in fact, it does not has anything other than your compute. It does not has a tables. It does not has your views, nothing. What will have? It has only the compute. Now you tell me to create your database, to create your table, do you need a virtual warehouse?
No, sir.
no.
No, we don't need a virtual warehouse to create a table. You insert a data, you need a virtual warehouse. Definitely,
Mm.
yes, because that is a computation, because that needs to be
Inside.
processed. To read the data, you need a virtual warehouse. Yes, definitely it needs. To create all any of your objects, including your database, schema, tables, you don't need virtual warehouse. As per this, what you required, you need only the service layers to create your objects, because the moment you store or create any objects, the metadata will be created. For you is you doesn't need, because as long as does not even storage layer is required for creating a tables. Storage layer is required. No, as long as data is not coming, storage is not going to be used at all. It is going to be used only your cloud service layer. Whenever you are getting that my point. See, I'm
Yes,
just
sir. Now I
creating a
got.
Yes, sir.
metadata. I'm just creating a metadata. Then why do I need a computing here? It just at a metadata structure of a table does not require anything to process. It does not your virtual machine or your virtual lab. What is that compute layer? It does not need. I'm not storing any data. I'm just creating a structure. Why do you need a storage? It doesn't need a storage. Then what you require? Only you require your service layer. So please understand this diagram is very beautifully has been depicted. Virtual variables can be of different sizes. You can go to the Snowflake account. I can see here, go to your projects. You can see, open one of it. You can see here, it has been given with a different virtual variable. So when you are executing, you can choose your warehouse, what warehouse you wanted to use. Based on what? Based on the payload. Got it? Got it or not?
Yes, sir. Got it. Sir, can you
Yes, sir.
suspend the
Got it,
warehouse
sir.
and can you
You
create
can
table
suspend
one?
here. It is already suspended mode. You can run it, resume or suspend. You can go and see here, click here. It shows your status. It is in suspended mode now. I can create a table without,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to show that. Hold on. I'm going to show that. I am not, this is not going to resume. I create all the databases, schema, tables. Your warehouse will never resume. It will always be in the suspended mode. I will show it how we can see that in a multiple ways. I will show it. You understood this part? Very important. Third layer, second layer. Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Understood.
Multiple
Yes.
virtual warehouse computer cluster scales, horsepower, and concurrency. This is that is your. I'll tell you one more important thing. See, each word is very beautifully written here. Okay. I has a word called concurrency. What is the meaning of concurrency? I'm telling you guys one more time. I'm telling you, please, all of you, listen one more time. I'm telling you. I had prepared for this class and come. What I'm saying is maybe I will also forget after maybe few days because I'm not great experience in Snowflake, honestly. But what I'm saying to you is whatever the class I do, you have to listen these classes one more time very clearly and carefully because the words I'm using here, concurrency, scalability, I don't think your previous classes you learned those words. Correct? Correct? That's what I'm saying. If at all
Yes,
you
sir.
are attending interview,
Yes, sir.
my classes or you are going to have a repetition classes is very, very because I am not that great expertise writing a code and all, but I will explain you the concepts that is required for interview 100%. If you're not able to use these words, you will not able to clear your interview. They will easily grasp you guys, doesn't have real-time experience. Okay. So please take a time. This recording you should be listening. Especially my classes, I request all of you listen carefully, write a notes. Okay, now concurrency is there. What is the meaning? I build multiple virtual warehouses. Okay, warehouses are compute layers. Okay, I can run my workload independently. I getting a daily files, hourly files. I'm saying I'm getting an hourly sales report data. What I'm going to do, I'm make a job, you know already how to create a task and all. I'm going to assign it to here. Night, I am getting on the night, 12 o'clock, I'm getting global sales data, global sales data, global sales data. I'm going to assign this data into bigger of your machine. I have one more task, build, build daily dashboard. For reading the data, I'm going to use a daily dashboard. I'm going to assign this into here. This is continuously running. See now, you have a task in your warehouse doing a task independent of each other. That is called concurrency, is doing the multiple things at a time. But everything is here. This is your one warehouse, warehouse number one. I just called it as warehouse number one, warehouse number two, warehouse number. Are they colliding each other? Are there are they having impact on each other? Never, because each warehouse has its own compute. Inside it, it might be having one node, it might have a 10 node. We doesn't know. When we create a warehouse, we design how many nodes I want. But your payloads, your task, or your data processing is happening independently without impacting others in concurrency in a scalable mode. That scalable mode means your big files will be processed in the warehouse 2, the small ones in the warehouse 1. But all of them, this is very, very beautiful concept. All of them, what they're using? They're using the common storage. They're using the common storage. Shared nothing. This is called hybrid structure we call. Each of them independent here. Each of them independent here. Are you agree with me?
Yes,
All
sir.
they're independent each other because
Yes, sir.
each one has their compute. I doesn't see this compute is nothing, is never shared with your this. This compute is only for daily dashboard. This compute is for your global sales data. This compute is for hourly sales, hourly files. But all of them either reading the data or writing the data from your common storage. This is called an hybrid shared nothing. They are, what is meaning of shared nothing here? They are not sharing the resources, correct? But they sharing the storage. That's why it is called hybrid model. So some of them we have an shared everything, like means shared architecture means you have a cluster that is being shared for all the payloads. You want me to explain the shared architecture? I think you don't require this. You want me to tell? Share means you have one cluster. Let me put that. I don't know how to do. You have shared means you have one cluster of machines or nodes. Okay, it has been shared for everything. Only you have a multiple nodes. Maybe you have two nodes. This everything is being run on this cluster. Everything is being run on this cluster. This is called your shared. Why it is called shared? All the payloads are using the same resources. And one more thing at bottom is your shared storage. This is called your dedicated cluster. This is called your dedicated cluster. Correct? Are you fine with me, this concept? What is dedicated cluster? Shared cluster concept. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Other one
Yes.
is we have other one is what is other one we have? Anyone remember?
Shared nothing.
Share nothing. Very good. What is the meaning of share nothing? It itself
It is
has
not
its own compute, itself has its own storage, itself has its own storage, itself has. I'm not storing or sharing nothing. It has its own compute, it has its own storage. But Snowflake is hybrid because we share the storage commonly. The payloads are independent, but your storage is common. That's why it is called hybrid. Got it? Why it is called hybrid? God, please just say yes, no.
Yes, sir.
It is called
yes, sir.
hybrid because the storage layer
Storage is shared, whereas
Shared
compute is
and
unshared,
compute is independent.
independent. So that is the beauty of Snowflake. You can imagine how flexibly you can run your payloads. Whenever I want to run hourly, I go to choose a warehouse. I can choose a warehouse, which choose a warehouse I wanted to schedule, I can run. This one, you don't worry about this. We'll talk about roles in a later. That is one of my beautiful topic. I've been worked on the creation of the roles and assigning the roles and for several years. That I will explain you. But till that, this concept is clear. This concept is clear. If
Yes, sir.
someone asks you explain
Yes,
the
sir.
Snowflake
Clear.
architecture, 15 minutes you should be able to answer until unless interviewer says stop. Because I explained this for 3 hours mostly. Wali,
Sir.
see here, cloud services, independently scalable compute, centralized storage. Every word has a meaning. Now, if you read it carefully, it has a big meaning. Each word has a big meaning. Independently scalable compute, centralized storage. Got it? Fine. I doesn't want to talk about more about it. We'll go to the practical. Anyone has any question? No? Okay.
no, sir.
First is we'll create a data.
Yes,
First of all, you wanted to start your data warehouse project. What is required first of all?
database.
Database is required. Before that, you need a muzzle. You have to choose what kind of a processing engine you need to start. So data warehouse we need to create. Can be created using the data warehouse. This we have started yesterday. So you can use a warehouse, create a warehouse. You can say here something demo. Okay, I dropped already. By default type is equal to standard, size is equal to X small. So X small has, we'll talk about it later. X small is having one credit. How many machines like cluster and all we'll see. Okay, but I wanted to have more advanced options. There are some options here. Look at here. All these we can also create using the command line. Please try to understand each of them. What is your, this is a warehouse name. Type is equal to this. Size is, you understand this type. This type is a standard. Standard warehouse can be used for most workload, including the Snowpark. I don't know what is Snowpark, but it is for your small warehouse, small processing. We can use your standard. What is the meaning of an auto resume? Automatically resumes a warehouse when statement that requires warehouse submit. That means whenever you are processing any data, you need not to resume. It automatically resume. What is the meaning of a resume? See, data warehouse can be on the suspended mode. What is the meaning of a suspended mode? Huh? It is not started. See, why we keep in a suspended mode
It's
is
not
to reduce the
working.
cost. If you keep on running, it will be your credits are keep on running because everything is the money in this world, correct? So we're keeping in a sleeping mode that is called a suspended mode. You go and check out your warehouses. It is in the suspended. When it will start, I'm going to sell. This is all in status called suspended. When we are going to start, in I'll create a duplicate session. Hold on. Okay, just duplicate here. Go and duplicate it. The session will get duplicated. So you can use your warehouse. You can use these parameters. We can use this parameter. What is auto resume? Whenever you wanted to process the data, you need not. I am going to suspend it. I'm going to sleep it. But whenever it requires a compute, that means whenever you're reading the data, whenever you're inserting the data, you need to start your, because that is a power you need to consume. Like you need a computation power. That's where resume your warehouse is going to be start. Then suspended after you are keeping idle. You read the data or written the data. You should not keep it running. What happens if you keep running? Your cost again. So you are going to make it as suspended after 5 minutes. Multi-cluster warehouse, that means you can build your warehouse. You can build this choosing number of clusters you wanted. Okay, number of clusters or nodes. Again, I don't want to go back to explaining what is your cluster or nodes. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Okay, why it is not allowing?
Sir. Query Excel.
Query accelerator, I don't
Develop.
want to use. I don't know warehouse name I left it. That's why. Query accelerator is, I don't know, like we talk about it, learn more. Requires additional flexible compute. I don't leave it. Whenever we have a big machine, it is called auto scalable. Okay. Behind your compute, it can be scalable. Don't look at about query acceleration as of now. All these parameters are clear for you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone has? So whenever, please keep in your mind, there are a few parameters whenever you wanted to create a data. This is for your certification question. You need a data warehouse name, data warehouse type, data warehouse size, auto suspend, true or false, auto resume, true or false, suspend after so many seconds or milliseconds, then multi-cluster, minimum number of clusters, minimum number of machines or a minimum and max. You can create a warehouse. It is going to create your warehouse. Okay. So now you go back and check. You can go back and check where you can go and check. Warehouses, I can also list. We'll show how to list a warehouses and all. Now you have one more warehouse has been created, your demo. Got it? Demo warehouse has been created. You click it. You can check your parameters, what has been used. Got it? Same
Yes, sir.
thing can create using the script. This is your wizard. This is your wizard, but you can also create using your script. Okay, how I prepared a script, but I am also just prepared script. Okay, I'm going to have something like, we'll talk about this, each of them parameters. Okay, so if not exist, create my Snowflake warehouse. So you have everything, whatever we discussed, you have your parameter here. Create warehouse if does not exist. If not exist, what is the name I'm given? It is kind of a create or replace. Okay, if not exist, create a Snowflake warehouse. Warehouse size, small. You can also create a medium, large, additional large and all, you can create it. Okay. Okay. So what is your auto suspended mode? How many seconds I wanted to resume, keep it open. I'm keeping it here. Auto resume is equal to true. Minimum cluster size is 1, maximum is 2. Initially, when I built a cluster, it is initially suspended is equal to true. These are the minimum parameter you should remember. What are them? Warehouse size, warehouse type, minimum cluster count, maximum cluster count, auto suspend, auto resume initially. So this you run it, you know how to run it is. You can use this command, run button, or you can use the control enter. It is going to, unexpected true. What happened?
It is started so
Hmm?
false, I think.
No. This one, huh?
Yes,
No,
sir.
this is correct.
Because we started the warehouse, no?
Sorry?
You already started the warehouse, no, sir.
warehouse.
Where is the, I not started the warehouse. No, where I started? This one. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what was the wrong, but warehouse has been created now. Okay, warehouse has been created now. There's a two ways you can create your warehouse. One is your script, one is your wizard. Okay. Now you wanted to see this really used any warehouse or not. How do you see that? Okay, go and check your viewer SQL profile. I'll go to that point. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to cover today. I have enough time. I'm going to cover that. You should have a time today. Now you back into this. You are able to create a warehouse. Clear how to create a warehouse, all of you, please. Yes,
Yes.
no, yes, no, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah.
Comfortable. You have to remember this. No, you need to type 100 times. Then only you will remember. I know. Even I cannot type without seeing this. I prepared this, but this is a very interview question will be asked sometimes in your examinations or your preparing. Okay, you have to remember this. I created a demo using the wizards. See, now I have created this also has been come. Please remember what are the different parameters or, okay, I will come back to that. I have created here with all the parameters, correct? What is my warehouse size? What is my data type? Sorry, warehouse type. And okay, I can also create without specifying any of them. Okay, create. I'll use it. Okay, create warehouse. You see, whenever typing, please understand it's very easy. You just use a tab, choose what you want it to be, put a tab, it will come. It create a warehouse test. It is also fine. It is also create. I'll run this. Then we'll see what are the parameters. What are the parameters it is going to choose. Okay, I am going to run from here. Okay, I am going to know what are the different parameters by default. I have not specified any parameter. Did I specify type, size, auto suspend? Nothing. Correct? How many clusters and all? I'm just going to run it. Let's see this. Why it is not control enter? Why? Where I am? Why it is not showing run? Okay, I have not chosen to choose any of the parameter. Warehouse has been created successfully. Go back and check now your test. This is very important. Just remember if possible, what parameters uses. What parameters uses? This is your default parameters. It chooses when you create without any specifying your parameters. Got it?
Yes, sir.
This is something you should remember. Okay, it is uses the very small. I did not specify anything, correct? Mr. Avinash, I have not chosen to choose any of the parameters. This is your default parameters. It is going to be chosen. What are them?
Yes, sir.
Status is equal to started. It is started.
Started size will be small.
Oh, by
And size,
default it is started.
size
See.
and minimum
Yeah,
cluster.
size is equal to small. Cluster count minimum is count. Scaling policy standard. Auto suspend is 60 seconds, 600 seconds.
6 hours.
6 hours. Oh my God. Auto resume is enabled. Okay, I'm going to drop it very soon. I don't want to eat up my credits, but remember this one. This is your default parameters. It will be created. Clear. Now what you have done, you created your warehouse. Okay. But I asked you one question. Creating a warehouse, what you required? Again, back to the same question. Three important things you learn, guys. Please remember this. Okay, I am always fond of writing this kind of a notes. Either you follow it or not. I will also follow. Always I follow. Okay. What you learn? Creating warehouse through wizards, through web UI, and using the script. Okay. And third one is default. If you do not specify what will happen, we also learn. Now, my question is now, to create your warehouse, what you required? What part of your service layer, which part of the Snowflake you required? You need storage, virtual machine. You are creating a virtual machine itself. You required any kind of a warehouse for that, any kind of a service layer, anything. You can also always what is your query looks like you wanted to see, go use your view query profile. Okay. It is going to show you, go to the query details. Here it show warehouse size is null. It not used any of your warehouse. If it is used any of your warehouse, it shows what warehouse you have been used. That indicating that creating or running this command, what command? This command does not require your warehouse. Got it? Clear?
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
guys?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, what else when you created a warehouse? See, creating a warehouse is to building your muscles or building your computing machines or clusters, but it's not to prevent you from creating a tables because it is does not require. See, without having any warehouse, please remember this is very. I am very sure that without having your warehouse, you can create any kind of your database schema. But when you start loading that particular tables, that is only required your virtual machines. Creating a table, creating a database, creating a users don't require because it's all about our metadata. Now I am going to create. Meanwhile, I wanted to drop all my warehouses I created. Okay, how to drop it? Drop warehouse. That is also you remember how to stop and drop it. Just run this. Okay, Control Enter. It is going to drop your warehouse. I wanted to drop because it seems to be very. I don't know. Okay, I drop. Just remember how to warehouse a drop. You can use the command called drop warehouse.
Warehouse name.
Warehouse. Okay. Now I am going to create a database. Now this is one part of it. One part of is you are creating a Snowflake warehouse and dropping it. You learn creating a three different ways. One is using the wizard. One is your script. Other one is a default. You understood what is the meaning of auto suspend, resume, cluster, like this is the parameter, at least you remember. Initial suspend means when you create it, it's going to be suspended mode. Auto resume is what the meaning of auto resume? Whenever VM required,
When we
virtual
use
machine, it will
TML statement.
automatically start. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? The jobs will fail. You have to start, then only job you have to resume. Correct? So sometimes what happened in the company, they stop it for usage. Auto resume, they make it false because people have an access, they keep running a sequels, it may cost. That's the reason what they do is auto resume, they make it false. They will start going to open it only at the mid to 12 o'clock. Whenever you wanted to load a file and all, that is the time. As part of your job itself, they create, say, auto resume is equal to start or alter the warehouse, your resume the data warehouse and they start. By default, it is true. You can also read it here. Okay, auto suspend, if you're keeping your warehouse for inactivity for certain duration, it is going to be. Okay, this is 6 parameter minimum. Please remember. Okay. Now, I wanted to create a databases. By default, this is the two databases. Whenever Snowflake is created, there are two databases has been created. One is your Snowflake, and it has a sample data. It has lot of your what is that? Lot of your sample data is also. Any of you tried reading this? None of you. See, this is your
Yes, sir.
database. This is your
In class,
database.
we use the
Okay. Okay. This is your database. This is your schema. Within this, you have a tables. I told this very clearly. One point hierarchy. What is your hierarchy looks like? One more time. One more time. What is
Database,
your database? Okay.
schema,
Great. This is very
objects.
important, guys. Yeah. This is very database. You require a database. Database is collection of accounts or a schema. All we can use accounts also. Users, accounts, vice versa we can use, but it has a different end. Within that, you can have your objects. Correct? So this is your structure. First, I want to create your database. Okay, a database can have multiple schemas. Why you create to bifurcation of your data? You're creating a difference. Now I'm going to create your data warehouse. Sorry, database. See now, what I'm going to say, create database. I say here, Snow DB. I just use snow underscore DB. Now, no warehouse is selected. Look at here. You can see my screen. I have not used any warehouse to be run this. If I run this, it will work or not?
Works.
It will work. Anyone
Yes,
has
sir.
different answer?
Will work, sir.
It will work because it does not require any data processing. Run this, it will. What happened? Create database. Correct now.
Database. Mm.
Why?
BASC.
BASC.
BASC. Oh, create database Snowflake. So now database is created. I not choose anywhere else. You can go and check out your SQL profile. The database will be nothing. Go to the SQL details. Warehouse size is nothing. It is clear that creating a database does not
Yes.
require your warehouse. Okay. After that, what I'm going to create? Create your
Schema.
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 SCHEMA. Schema snow underscore schema. Okay. Is it required? What is required actually to create it? Okay, go back and see. To create your schema, what is required?
Database.
Database is required because that is your first level of priority. It is already chosen your database. Look at here. Or you want to create this schema in a different schema. Databases. These are two different databases or default are the Snowflake and sample data. But since I'm using the wizard, it's already chosen your
Public.
database. Correct? What is public here actually?
Schema, sir.
Schema. Okay. I'm going to create one more schema called. Do I have warehouse required here? Definitely still not required because it is a metadata. I'm going to run it. Your schema is also be created. You required creating. Okay, what is required for your? Okay, to create a schema, what is required? Database should be database. I'm writing the notes for my understanding. Database should be present. Okay. Now I'll come back to now. Now I'm going to back into a very curious answer. To create a table, what you required?
Database and schema.
Database. Not if you read a schema within that you can okay, create a table, test, and this say ID. Now question is again, do you need a warehouse?
No, sir, I think.
No, still it works. That's what my first question today asked. You said all of you, yes, correct? You said most of you said yes now.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, now I'll run this and see, still it is working. Your warehouse not even started. I not chosen any of the warehouse. Okay, create your databases and schema, and I created a table called test ID, and in none of these cases ID in what is required, definitely is required schema. Schema should be present, correct? None of these activities, all of these activities below steps surely does not required, not needed, correct? Not needed any of warehouse.
Warehouse.
Now I think now you know all of you what is Snowflake.
Yes, sir.
I know this is what you want me to, people you expect from people to teach, but nobody teach in this creator. This is something I have learned patiently to, because when I'm teaching, I always think, do I understand or not? First of all, I should understand now what I'm saying. So this is what I always feel. If I understand, people are listening to me also understand. But because I'm not that great expertise in Snowflake, I'm not teaching anyway. This is my first class. I am going to teach the Snowflakes going forward. Okay. Anyway, fine. Clear about this concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone has any question?
No,
Okay, let's talk about your metadata quickly. We're running out of time. Okay, I want to list all this is something you need. This is very, very important, guys. You need to play around with your metadata. If at all you want to be a good data engineer, you should play with the metadata. I am very, very much good, very good database developer in terms of SQL, PL, SQL. I can say I am the best. Okay, I write any kind of a SQL, I can write any kind of a procedure, but because I know internally how they work. When I write a statement, many things comes in my mind, how it is going to work, because you need to understand how this data, metadata is going to play. For me, if you doesn't need to know how to write a SQL, does not matter. You should know how Snowflake is going to work. That is very, very important, because once you understand how internally it is working, the way of writing a SQL, the way of writing a logic will be different. Okay. So you wanted to know all show is a command. It is going to show is like describe you have in Oracle or somewhere. We have a show here. You want to know all your data warehouses. What you have to do? Data warehouses, not warehouse, just say warehouses. It is going to list all the warehouses you have been created. This is a name. Okay. I wanted to drop demo also. I doesn't want to keep it because I don't know how it is going to eat up my this one. Anyway, it is auto suspend. Here, let's see, it is auto suspend. Auto resume is true. Auto suspend is also fine. Okay. Okay. Drop anyway, it doesn't want to drop it. Okay. Then how to list your databases? So show databases. Okay. Show databases. Oh, show databases. So control enter, it is going to control enter. Okay. So it is going to give you all the databases. Okay. Clear? Who has created this? That is going to be here. We'll talk about role. Okay. How to show your tables?
Show tables.
Show tables. Okay. Show tables. Okay. So now this is a very simple comments. I also documented. You can try it. Okay, dropping warehouse and all, we can do it. Okay, now I wanted to teach very important is your information schema. I think I have some more notes on about it. Let me see. I have notes. Okay, I have written here. Okay, I'll use this for my reference. Now all this, see, now you go to your. This is what this is called. What? SnowDB.
Database.
Database.
No.
Under
No
that.
database.
Under that,
Schemas.
I have created a
These
schema
schemas.
called Snow schema. In that, I have created your test database.
Table.
Correct? How
Yes.
to copy this information? Copy name. Okay. See, this is something what this is called here. Okay. Here something. This is very, very need to know. This is called. What is this? Is something called fully qualified name. Fully qualified. What is meaning of fully qualified? Means it has
Having
everything.
database schema.
What
and
database,
table
what
name.
schema, what object. Okay. How do you get it is fully formed. Just go and copy. This is very important to play with your UI. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Okay.
Yes.
How to get your fully qualified name is just go and copy name. It is going to give the fully qualified name. That means it has your database schema and the object name. So when I created this database, is already created one more different schema by default is your information schema. It has a lot of views. Just go and read it your views. See, this is what I'm keep talking about from last 2 days. You wanted to know what are the tables. All the tables you have created under this are stored in the tables. All the columns of the tables are being stored under the columns. Okay, there are so many indexes you create here, databases will be here, columns will be here. Okay, you need to very familiarize with each of these functions you create is going to be here. So it is very important sequence you are going to be very important is you need to understand. About your storage, you read one table. What is the table you remember? Information schema dot
Table.
storage matrix.
Matrix.
Table storage matrix. This is for your memory, like storage, what it is going to use. Okay, I'm going to read something from the Snowflake this time. Okay, select star from information schema. Just you can go it here. Tables. I wanted to read on the tables information. What it will have. So this is coming from which
Table
layer?
information.
This is coming from which layer of your Snowflake?
Compute layer.
Compute layer. No. Oh, man. It is coming from your service layer.
Storage.
Where is your
Service layer.
metadata? Metadata is
The
Sir,
your
select
there.
statement, it will come under
select
compute
statement.
layer.
No, it will not use any of your. Let's see what it is used warehouse. I want to say yes, it is being used your warehouse definitely. You can go and check out your schema profile. Let's see. I don't think really you require to know your computing here.
Sir, for compute layer, insert, update, and for reading, we use
No,
compute layer. It
reading,
need
but
to
this
process.
data is in metadata, not in your storage. Okay, let's see this.
For actual table, we might
Yeah,
require, but
it
not.
is not required. Still, it is coming from your service layer. Oh, it is used your
Catch. Catch.
cache or your. It has been used your warehouse.
But it will
Okay.
use, I think.
Okay. Okay, I'll going to make it as suspend. Let's do one thing. I'm going to suspend this and I will run this again. What will happen? Okay, if at all it starts, then it is going to use it, correct? I'm going to run it. Then I think it started. That's the reason it shows. That's the reason it's taken time to start. Started. Okay. Okay. So this is your tables. The tables has a different tables. Look at here. Okay. Here it has. Please understand what is the table catalog represents. In information
Database.
schema, that is X exactly. That is you have to remember information schema table catalog, not table. In this case, table catalog represents your. See, this is the different tables you have. That's what it is showing. You have a different tables you have. So one of the table we created here under the Snowflake schema called Snowflake. It is a test and all being created. You wanted to know all the list all your tables. You can use here. You can also show tables. Also list all the tables. Correct. User creator stories. This is an information schema where you do get your all the. Okay, well, just hold on a minute. I'm getting a call. I think we have meeting Sagar at 6 o'clock. Okay. So let's talk about purely quickly. Okay, this is something here. Information tables. Okay, I wanted to know all the databases. Show database is also there. Here also you have database. Just play around this information schema today. Okay. In this database, I have two databases. One is Snowflake by default. Other one is what I have created. Okay. Standard type everything. See, you can also use this. Okay. Okay. Databases. Correct. You already listed this. So what I'm request to all of you is please go through this Snowflake. Create some more tables. Don't worry about nothing will crash or cost you. Create some more tables. Create your employee table or whatever. By default, what is the data length for the worker in here? If you do not specify the length, what it takes? Huh?
It will be variable length.
No, what? How much? Nobody knows.
Maximum of 4,000 something.
No, I not specified here what it is going to take. Guys, you have to be very, very sure about what you're trying. I don't think many.
How
many
much
of
we
you,
are inserting, that much it will take. So
no, but it has something. I wanted to mention only my particular columns table name. Table name. Where is your table column name? What is the tables? You need to see here multiple things. Your table catalog is what your
Database name.
where? No, catalog is a database. Okay. Data underscore catalog underscore catalog. Can I use current database? What does it mean current database? Current account, huh?
The database which we are
Current
using currently.
database is not there. I
Current
think.
database.
Oh, it's
There,
there.
the current account will be there as a thing. Let me see that those queries will run this. I want to know the current underscore schema. Schema gives the current schema where we are. I'll also show the one beautiful of Snowflake. Okay, current account. Okay, current account. Okay, then current database you have, that is what an account, or you can say current underscore database student database. Okay, so I run this, you get, okay, current account. Okay, current account, I don't know what this is my account where I have created, that is my account. Okay, this is the current schema is your schema, current database is your current database, correct? So I just use something else. Okay, I use current underscore timer. What is the current date? Okay, I
Current user.
use something comma and colon. It will work or not? It will
No,
give
sir.
error or not?
It will give error.
Error, sir.
It will
Error.
give error. Close your
Yes.
eyes and open. What will happen? Let's see. It will not give error. Snowflake supports something called trailing comma. This is a new concept. Training comma. Okay, it does not throw error. If you run the same SQL on any other databases, it throws an error because last column you should not have comma, but it is allows your trailing. But it's not a big feature. Something you should know. That's what I'm trailing comma is supported in your field. So now I want to say product table catalog is equal to what I should say.
Mm.
You can run this one. My current database is no underscore DB. Instead of that, I can also write current database. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is something you should learn. That's what I'm saying. See, it is going to list all the tables from your Snowflake. And one more thing you need to run. What is your current schema? Current schema you should run. Yes. Otherwise, you have two different schemas. One is your information schema. Other one is you have Snow. What is your created? I don't know my current. What I'm going to
Yes.
use schema. Not where is your table schema? Table underscore schema is equal to what?
Current schema.
Current schema. This is something you should know where you are working. You doesn't need to know your names. So it is going to give you the column. See, it has an employee. What is an employee table name? And it has a column. See, this is what an different columns it is going to list. What the table I have created? I created for employee table. I created a name called, where is my name? Employee name. So let's see here, column default, position second. See, what is this meaning? Look at here. This is what I'm talking about the metadata, correct? It has everything in the employee table, ID is a column name. Ordinal position, from where it is, what is the position of column ID in your table? This is ordinal position 1. Is it default? No. Is it default? No. Number type, text type, look at the maximum length.
Mm.
I think this has something 2 to the power of, okay, 2 to the power of some number is there. I think I told 32 or 16, I don't know. That is how it is going to come. See, this all information will be present in yours. See, this is something you want to know all the tables of your. So I wanted to further filter. I just wanted to know my table name of employee. What we should do? And table name is equal to employee. Again, it is all in uppercase. See, this is something if someone asks you to list all the columns of your table, this is what you can write your metadata information. You agree with me?
Yes.
This is something I want you to learn, all of you. It is
Yes, sir.
required for all of you to learn, all of you. I want to see it is using any something. It is using the warehouse. Okay. Clear? How to use how to get all the columns of your table?
Yes, sir.
You know this before?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Why not? It's very easy now. Very easy. You have to play. This is something you should learn, all of you. Otherwise, whatever you do, it is waste. And for me, without knowing this metadata, you're playing with the metadata. See, either you can specify your database name is equal to Snow DBS. Why should I remember? I'm just using the current database, current schema. Okay, that gives you the thing. Okay, I'll copy this into your notes. Okay. So this is something, this is a very generic one, but I wanted to use this one, current one. I'm using the listing all the current database. In the current database, where I have been using in current database. In the script, you wanted to switch to the different users. What you use? We use a command called use schema, correct? Schema, what are the schema I wanted to use? We can use it, correct? We'll talk about this later, how to switch your users within this. I think I'm getting late. I'm tired, really. I cannot speak to behind this. Okay, I think I also enjoyed today. I learned multiple things from you also. I hope you also learned. So whatever the things I have documented, I will share. Important thing is many things I cannot write it. Okay, I'm also learning procedures, how to do it and all. I will share with you. So you learn multiple things. I think I'm very comfortable today. If at all someone asks about my architecture, what is the purpose of each of them? I'm very, very sure behind that I like this topic. What topic? Snowflake is hybrid cluster, hybrid model. What is the meaning of hybrid model?
It works with both shared and shared nothing.
Shared. What is shared here?
Shared architecture and shared
What
nothing.
is shared? Shared
It will
storage.
share the compute.
Sharing the
Unshared
storage.
Unshared compute. Share nothing. This is very beautiful concept. Even I did not, honestly speaking, I read multiple times. I did not got that point. What is meaning of an hybrid? But when I started explaining, both I started comparing. Yes, we written the diagram, shared architecture, and one is we called unshared architecture. Then I able to explain, yes, Snowflake is doing an independent computing plus stored. So that's the reason I understood what is an hybrid. Really, till that point, I was also not sure, really. Anyway, I'll share this in your notepad. Sorry, in your chat. You can keep that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you then. Bye-bye. This is my part is done. Somebody has to take the next part and start teaching. This is something you have to prepare and come, guys. 1 hour you should prepare now. You can easily explain. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 1 hour you have to sit